Hello everyone and welcome back to another quick video. Today I want to show you how you can quickly model this console wood table. The idea is to follow this quick workflow that will allow you to model anything that you find online fast and easy with the tools I'll show you in this video. Let's dive in. So as always, we're going to follow a very familiar workflow to start modeling the wood console, and that is to import the image and then scale to one of the reference sizes. So as always, you want to explode using shortcuts here, group. When you're inside the group, you want to draw a reference line to one of the reference images. You want to draw a reference line. And from here, I'm going to use the tape measuring tool. Once again, T is my shortcut. Reference that line, and we're going to scale this to 59.1 inches. Confirm, and now we have that scale. The reason for this is to follow a very simple and easy workflow. So we're going to draw all the basic shapes first, move to the appropriate height, and then we'll add the details. So we have the width and depth here, so I'm going to use a rectangle tool. This is going to be 16.5 inches by 59.1 inches. It's going to look something like that. And I'm actually going to group this. I will just get rid of that face for now because we want to reference this circle as well as this other shape. So let's repeat the same with the rectangle tool to draw something as close to this shape to match as close as possible. And another thing I'm actually going to do is position this in the midpoint. So I'm going to reference that midpoint, and with the move tool and holding shift to lock on inferencing, I'm going to reference the middle of that first rectangle we created, and we'll snap it there. And we'll also group this as well. So next is the circle. You can use the tape measuring tool, just set a reference to maybe the midpoint. I'll draw a circle. I'm actually going to change the sides of the circles to maybe 60 so I have better quality, and we'll draw that circle there. Next, let's center our circle. Right click, find center, and now we can position this so it aligns in the center of the object. Next, we need to bring back this face, and to do this quickly, I can use SketchPlus Make Faces. This is going to allow me to generate all possible faces from the selected edge. So it's very simple. Select one of the edges and it will bring that face back. And I'm going to right click and reverse face. And now we're going to set this to the right height, which is going to be 31.5 inches. So activate the move tool, and on the blue axis, I will type 31.5 inches. Which will set us up there. For the thickness of the countertops, we're going to pull this down to 2¼ inch. And now we can safely bring these up to that height. And as you can see from the reference image, they actually go flat to the actual countertop. So we're going to grab this, pull this up, go to the circle, pull this up as well. Next, I'm going to select both of these edges, and we're going to use Bevel to bring in some round corners. So the first thing I'm actually going to do is go to preferences so I can check my settings. And here I want to make sure that the rounding is set to arc. And I'm actually okay with the rest of the settings. Select Bevel. I had my edges selected, and we'll bring this in. We'll bring this in as much as we can, and it'll look something like that. The good thing about Bevel, you can use the arrow keys to increase the segment. So I'll press up to increase this to 10, 12, eventually 16. So we'll just go back and we'll repeat the same on the other side. First, we'll select both of our edges, activate Bevel, and this time I'm going to double click to repeat that last command. And as you can see here, whatever the radius was, I have 16 segments. So now we're going to repeat the same to this block here. We'll go inside and we'll select actually all 4 of these lines, and we'll add Bevel. And we'll bring this in. I wish I could snap to the midpoint just like that. And there we go. And it actually kept the 16 segments this time. So now we have something like this. So far, not too bad. Next, we'll go into the group itself. Now we have to offset to bring in those countertop details. So we'll go into the group, type O for offset, and we'll offset this in by 1.5 inches. So we can have a round offset of that outer edge like that. And then we'll repeat the same for 1/2 inch. So we'll end up with something like this. I think maybe the thickness for this is a little too much. So what I'm actually going to do, I think this was 2 inches before. I'm going to bring this back in by 0.5 inches. So it's 1.5. And we'll bring this down again to maybe 3/4 of an inch. So we end up with something like this. And we'll repeat the same to this shape. Now, one thing I really like doing is separating shapes just for the sake of materials. I know we can easily set 2 materials here, but I like grouping things just so it's a little bit more easier to manage. So what I'm going to do is I'll select this entire face, copy, and I'll push pull this down so it's completely eliminated from this group. So let's exit that group, paste in place, and now I can make this into its own separate group on its own that we can add a different material and more detail to. So I'm going to group this, and now we have 2 separate groups for that countertop. So now that we can see, we have a nice bevel that also goes across this entire thing that creates sort of a ring. So we're going to select all of these edges. We're going to activate bevel, 1 click, and we can see our preview here. We're gonna add a small bevel here like this, which looks pretty good. And now we can do the same for the top. So once again, select, activate bevel, click once, and we can do some very small like that. So the last thing we really need to do is add a bevel down here. So we can do that. Once again, select all of these edges. Once again, activate bevel and set your distance. As you can see, bevel is a pretty good tool to add round corners and chamfers. So the link for bevel will be in the description. Now, to cut one shape into the other, we can actually do this in 2 ways. The very easy way would be to simply select this circle, copy, and when you go into this shape, paste in place, it will intersect with the selection. And then all you have to do is push pull this down so it's out of the way, and you end up with something like that. And the next way, I'm actually going to copy this and paste it inside, and then we can just delete later. So I'll select this, both shapes, right click, and intersect with selection. And as you can see, it carved that other group into each other. So you can end up with something that's out of that group. So now I can just flush this back here. And for our very last step, we can actually add some bevel into this as well. This will be very tiny detail. And I'm just going to repeat the same bevel value for both of these objects. Now, when I repeat the same on the actual countertop, you can see I'm adding a bevel here. I get these weird artifacts that you can also come across. So I'm going to show you how to fix this in a few simple steps. So in order to solve this, let's activate hardened borders. So it can look something like this. Next, you want to disable smooth soft edges and smooth bevel borders. This. And then you want to soften your edges. So it looks something like that. And as you can see, those weird artifacts have disappeared. So now let's add a detail here to this border edge. We're going to select it and clean. Now we're going to auto soften to get rid of those edges. And then we'll select this and we'll add that tiny bevel detail there as well. And as always, the link for bevel is in the description if you need more information. So that looks pretty good. I think the very last step here is to add materials. So to bring my textures into SketchUp, I'm going to simply drag them in. That's our wood, and that is our marble. Make sure you scale them to whatever size you want to. And then I'm simply going to explode. So first, I'm actually going to right click, go to texture and disable projected. And now I can easily sample this, go into my group and apply that texture. And now we can do the same to the wood. Disable projected, sample. Now we can bring this in to that material. So actually looks pretty good. And we'll do the same here. It's somewhat of a complex shape because of all the curve and round corners that we've added. We're going to use Sketch UV to better place the texture. So I'm going to right click, activate box map, and that looks much better. And I'm actually going to repeat this, but rotate the texture by 90 degrees. So we have a much better result. If you can notice, actually the wood grain is going horizontal here. So what I'm actually going to do is activate harden borders, and I'll just grab this one face and rotate 90 degrees and then soften the edges again so that it looks something like that. So we're cheating a little bit, but that's okay. So that's how you can model this oval walnut console table using very simple SketchUp workflow. And as you can see, it turns out to look pretty good. Make sure to comment down below on what you'd like to see next, and we can start to model 3D pieces like this and make it into quick, short videos. And that's gonna be all for this video. Hopefully you can see how quickly you can turn any reference image into a high quality SketchUp model with the tips used in this video. As always, leave a comment on what you'd like us to model next, and I'll see you guys in the next video.